Good morning, everybody. Now, before we get into some of the other top headlines of the day, we want to start with some news from overnight in Ferguson, Missouri. Now, 2 police officers were shot during demonstrations outside police headquarters shortly after midnight. St. Louis County Police Chief John Belmar said a 41-year-old officer from the St. Louis County Police Department was shot in the shoulder, while another officer from the Webster Groves Police Department was shot in the face. Now, Belmar says both have serious injuries but are conscious. The demonstrations happened following the resignation of Police Chief Thomas Jackson earlier on Wednesday. We will have more on that a little later. Now we have an update on the Black Hawk helicopter that crashed during a nighttime training mission late Tuesday night. Debris washed ashore yesterday along the Florida coast while searchers continued looking for the missing 7 Marines and 4 soldiers killed in the crash. Officials say they are still not sure what caused the UH-60 Black Hawk to go down, but think the dense fog may have played a role. Although all 11 are presumed dead, officials say they still consider this a search and rescue operation. Both the President and Defense Secretary have expressed their condolences. Now moving on to some embarrassing news for the Secret Service, this time involving 2 senior members of the President's detail. Now, according to the Washington Post, the agents allegedly knocked back quite a few drinks at a retirement party for another agent. Now, they then thought it was smart to drive their government-issued vehicle back to the White House, where, oopsies, they crashed into a security barrier. Ironically enough, probably up there to prevent crazy people from entering the White House to begin with. Right. Both agents have been reassigned, and the Department of Homeland Security is investigating the incident. And now going back to Ferguson, Missouri, where shakeups continue in leadership there. Now, the Ferguson police chief has just announced his resignation. This comes a week after the scathing Justice Department review and the resignation of several other leaders in the community. Chief Thomas Jackson has come under fire for his handling of the shooting death of unarmed teen Michael Brown at the hands of his officer, Darren Wilson. According to reports, an internal officer will act as interim chief for the time being, while a national search is being conducted to find a new police chief. Images of the murder of MIT officer Sean Collier were shown in court yesterday as the trial of the accused Boston Marathon bomber Jahar Tsarnaev continued. The prosecution showed the images to jurors and say that the 27-year-old was shot in the head by one of the brothers. The brothers then tried to steal the officer's gun but were unsuccessful. Now, shortly after that murder, a gun battle ensued in Watertown between officers and the brothers. The trial continues today. Last in your top 5 headlines, as the fallout for the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity continues. Now, officials from the chapter at the University of Oklahoma are speaking out. They say they are sorry for the pain the chant caused and hope the community can really begin healing. They blame the actions of the members on a horrible cancer that entered the fraternity a few years ago, although no one is sure what that really means. Now, one of the students identified in the video, Parker Rice, says that the chant was actually taught to them, but it does not excuse his actions. The national organization has denied that allegation, but boy, if that is true, that chant was taught to them, that means it's been around for a while. It means it's been shared. This has actually spurred a lot of other fraternity heads to investigate other frats all around the country to make sure this isn't something that is going on under the scenes.
Yes.
I told you guys, this is the first of many videos that will be out.
Yeah.
I still think it's like a cheap apology. What do you guys think?
I do too.
Yeah,
I
a lot
think,
of people do.
You know, Jessica and I, we were talking about this yesterday about how, you know, things that have been around for a long time have now been coming out because of social media.
Right,
you know,
absolutely.
like there's never been a time where there was a Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
and all that
this
stuff.
stuff.
Can't get away with anything
all this
anymore.
stuff is coming out now, so you can't you can't get away with it.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Good riddance,
Yeah.
y'all.